Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. There is an opportunity for our dealer audience to submit for retail warranty reimbursement, not just once, but whenever there is a substantial change in retail rates for either parts, labor, or both. Want to welcome back to our conference our good friends at dealerlaw.com. They are Ken Lohr and Keith Granger. They are the experts in retail warranty reimbursement. Ken and Keith, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thanks, Ted. Good to be here again. Pleasure to see you.
Good to have you both. And Ken, a lot happening in this area, and I want to bring our audience up to speed. So I thought it best that you spend a little time with us today with Keith and kind of give us an overview into what those changes are and how they affect dealers and how we can help them increase that retail labor or parts markup.
Well, it's an evolving business for us. Things change quite often. Statutes get updated, and of course, everybody probably knows all 50 states have a statute of some sort. Some statutes are stronger than others, and there's always changes, modifications, what we call amendments to the statutes. But one thing that always remains the same is that you're always eligible, depending on the state as to how often you're eligible, to resubmit for an increase. And that seems to be, what some of our dealers are, I hate to say most, that could be a bad word, but a lot of dealers don't understand or don't really pay attention to when they can resubmit. They'll do it the first time and get a really, really nice increase. And some cases it's, it could be a couple $1 million we've seen in increases from larger dealers, and then they just kind of forget about it. And especially now when everybody's having great years, as you know, the industry's having record profits, in the dealership world today. So hopefully that lasts, but let's be realistic, it may not last. So we're back to relying on fixed absorption and what the fixed operations department contribute to the overall net profit of the dealership, and that becomes even more important. So the opportunity is resubmissions. And what I simply mean is anytime that you have any changes in your operations as far as labor rates go or parts pricing strategies change and your rates increase, well, it's time to go back to the manufacturer and get an increase, because they're not going to give it to you. You're no longer on the automatic CPI increase, or especially with parts, they'll never give you an increase. You have to file under the statute. So that's the opportunity that we see, and most dealers don't take advantage of that. And it just amazes me. The other day, we saw a dealer with $500,000 laying on the table. That it's a resubmission, and he's leaving $500,000 behind. So
that's incredible.
We're going to capture that for him. And like I said, it's not real at front of mind right now because we're doing so well on the variable side. Grosses are so high, and even though inventory is constrained, we're making a lot more money per unit than we're used to. So the focus is on variable, but it's going to shift. And we like to get ahead of the curve and maximize every dealer's opportunity.
Ken and Keith, we're hearing that throughout the conference now. A lot of the panels, a lot of discussions so far have been on how things are going to be a little bit more difficult coming up in 2023. Here we are in mid-November. We've only got about maybe 6 weeks left in the year. So we're preparing now for our 2023 plan. Is there an annual review that you do currently for your clients? I know you keep tabs on your clients and how they do, but you're right. This could easily be out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things that Keith does in our firm is he keeps track of our clients and when they may be due for increases based on the statute. All the statutes are different. So, but typically it's every year. So we like to do a review every year, whether you think there's an opportunity or not. It doesn't cost our clients anything, or even new clients, for us to do a review of their numbers to see if there's an opportunity that's worth going after. So even just not our existing clients, if you've never worked with us before, the opportunity for you at no charge, no obligation. We're not salespeople. I'm not a salesperson. So I'm just here to help. I'm here to maximize your outcome. So if I can help you in any way, I'm happy to do that. So one of the things we do is yearly reviews for everybody, just to see if there's any opportunity. And typically, you'd be surprised that there is.
I want to ask Keith about that. Keith, what are you seeing from your perspective?
Well, what everything Ken said, just spot on. What I would like to do is just encourage our dealer clients and the dealers that aren't our clients is to prepare for that next increase. Put that parts pricing matrix, that labor grid in place now. As soon as you get your increase, let's start working towards next year, because next year will be here before you know it. And just put yourself in the best possible position for that next increase.
So, Keith, that's a great point. It takes time to prepare this, doesn't it? I mean, not only on the dealer side, but on your side. And then, there's collaboration that you do with the dealership as well. So it's probably never too early to start that, Keith.
But it is never too early. As soon as that increase happens, the clock starts ticking, and it will come around again. And Ken has some really amazing parts pricing matrices and some labor grids that can really put some dealerships in excellent position. So all you have to ever do is just reach out to us, and Ken will get those in your hands very quickly.
I was not aware of that, Keith. So, Ken, I've heard a number of leaders on this event, now and in the recent past, talk about a matrix, and not everybody, is aware of how that works, or let alone has a good one. So it sounds like that's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, definitely is, Ted. As you know, I have a fixed ops background like you do. So, I've been in the consulting business, and over the years, I've created many parts matrices. And like I always say, some of the best ideas I've ever had are ones I stole from other people. So I collect matrices.
That's called research.
That's right. That's research. So I collect matrices. So I have a nice little library of matrices that I know that work. Also on labor pricing grids as well. And to Keith's point, one of the things that we do for our clients is to help them in that area. So even though we may get them a very healthy increase, when we look at their data, we can quickly see that, hey, we can help them in other ways, such as introducing a parts pricing matrix and even training their staff as to how to use it. Because, parts pricing matrix does you have to have some finesse. You have to understand where to apply it, where not to apply it. So we do a lot of that. We live in a Zoom world, so we don't have to get on an airplane and fly anywhere. So it doesn't cost our clients anything to do that. And we hop on Zoom meetings all the time with staff, with service managers, service advisors, explain to them how to use labor grids and those types of things that are typically done inside the dealership by a consultant. Those are services that we offer all of our clients. So that's one of the advantages of working with Bellavia Blatt Dealer Law is we offer that service, and we're all fixed ops people, we're car people. So we're just not, we're not attorneys, so to speak.
I want to tag one thing on to what Ken just said. The other companies in this space that do this for dealers, and they do a great job, they use an algorithm to determine what lift is available in those dealerships. They plug in the numbers into a software system, and it spits it out. And it looks like it's pretty accurate a lot of the time. However, Ken and his team do it totally different. They use their brains. That's the only computer used on these projections is the human touch. They look at every nuance. So as a human being analyst working on these projections, they're able to get inside the numbers and look at things that a computer just can't do. So I think our projections are typically more robust than maybe the competition. So.
And Keith, I would think that our audience, our managers and dealers, would want somebody with that kind of experience on their side, because on the other side, Ken, you've got the manufacturers, and they're ready. They've got a team. They've got a team of people looking at these, going through them, probably looking for defects or things they could pick apart. So, Ken, speaking to that point that Keith mentioned, you've got to really, advise the dealer and help them to prepare the best possible scenario.
Yeah, and that's very true. Even though the statutes in your particular state really dictate as to how the process takes place and how you prepare a statutory submission, each manufacturer has their own nuances as to what they will accept and what they won't accept. So, in other words, they interpret the statute to their favor. So you have to have an understanding of what each and every manufacturer will do and won't do. If you don't know that, that presents big problems. So we have those relationships with the manufacturers. They know us. So when they get one of our submissions, they typically understand that they're going to be correct. They know that it's coming from Bellavia Blatt. So we have that in-depth knowledge, not just with the fixed ops side, but the manufacturer side too. So we understand how they do business, and they understand how we do business too. So that's a really distinct advantage for us.
One of the things that Keith mentioned is that, as opposed to some other companies that may do this as part of their business, you really have been the pioneers, Ken, Len Bellavia, with this retail warranty reimbursement, early on identifying the need and starting small and then building it out, and really, uncovering for dealers many, many millions of dollars, potentially millions of dollars in increases in both labor and parts, Ken.
Yeah, you're right, Ted. Len was definitely the pioneer in the industry. I remember, 25 years ago when I was in the dealership, I knew who Len Bellavia was. And I think most of us do that are in the business. So he brought that to the table, and he was instrumental in getting states to adopt legislation that address these inequities between, what we charge our customers and what the manufacturers are paying us. I mean, I just saw 2 weeks ago a dealer that was still in double digits for labor. How often do you see that? $91 an hour.
Wow.
And their door rate was 150.
Wow.
So, there are those disparities out there that we see every day. And it's just not equitable. It's just not fair. You can't, so we go to bat for our dealers. We get them what they deserve to get. We don't ask for more than what they deserve, but what they deserve and what they're entitled to under the statute.
You sort of level the playing field for the dealer.
That's a great way of putting it. We do level the playing field, and the manufacturers respect what we do. We're straight shooters. We don't ask for more. We follow the statute. We follow their rules, and we just get what the dealer deserves. It's just simple as that.
And we don't encourage the dealerships to monkey around with the numbers and try and fake the manufacturer out. These are just real hard, real world numbers.
Yeah.
How long does the process take? I know that's going to vary, by dealer, by rooftop, by group, but give me a range in terms of, typically in your experience, gentlemen.
Well, normally just the actual working time is, 30 to 40 hours worth of work for one of our analysts. But the reality is to prepare everybody's different. We have to extract data from the DMS. We have to look at RO sequence selections to make sure that we're maximizing the outcomes. So that takes time. But typically, we can get it done within 2 to 3 weeks and submitted within 2 to 3 weeks. And of course, the states dictate how much time the manufacturer has to respond to that request. Most are 30 days, some are 45. There's a few out there that are 60 days, but generally speaking, 30 days. So it's pretty typical, 45 days to 60 days before you get your increase.
Last question for today. I know many dealers who watch the Roundtable are clients of Belavia Blatt Dealer Law. I can think of several right now that are clients of your firm. Why do your clients come back and stay with Dealer Law and retail warranty reimbursement? You know, why? What are some of the reasons that you hear that you've got such a high repeat and referral business?
Well, that's a great question, and one that I love to answer because, I don't, I'm humble, but this isn't the time to be humble. But we really believe that we're the best in class. So we do the best job. We look at the data. We understand what the data tells us, and we're able to prepare our clients to maximize their outcomes. And like Keith said, we look at every single repair order. We lay eyes on those repair orders. So, when we do the work and we do a projection for a client, we're typically right on top of that. So we really have a thorough understanding of how to maximize everybody's outcome. And we're recognized as such that we are the best in the business. And that's what we do. That's what we strive for. Quality, not quantity, but quality.
Love it.
I'll tell you, Ken, me, Tom, everybody on the team, we respond very quickly to our customers' needs. We don't wait. It won't be the next day. If you contact me or Ken, you're going to get contacted, and we're going to help you in the quickest way possible.
Well, let's close with that, gentlemen. Ken, what's the best way for our audience to reach out, learn more about what you do, maybe take advantage of some of those questions that you'll answer for them, talk about what they could do with the matrix and take the next step, Ken?
Sure. Easiest way to contact us is info, I-N-F-O, at dealerlaw.com. Or you could go directly to our website at dealerlaw.com, and there's just tons of information on there. So you can contact us. Our phone numbers are on there. But usually the easiest way to get us is info at dealerlaw.com. And like Keith said, we're very responsive, so we get back to you pretty quick.
Gentlemen, thank you for all you do for the automotive industry. On behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable, Ken and Keith, I want to wish you and your families a very happy Thanksgiving. And I did that yesterday with Len as well, and he was on the show. And you're always extremely informative and extremely professional in everything that you do.
Thanks, Ted. Happy holidays to you and your family and everybody on the Roundtable.
Same. Thank you so much.
And we'll look forward to seeing you next year, Keith and Ken. And we have a big event in January, and I understand you're also going to be at the NADA. So look forward to seeing you there as well. A lot happening in January and a lot of reasons for our audience to consider retail warranty reimbursement from the leaders at Belavia Blatt Dealer Law. Both Ken Lohr and Keith Granger here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thanks, Ted.
Thank you, Ted.